It is Wednesday, December 4th. I thought today's theme, I oftentimes talk about stuff that's happening to me and will shamelessly admit, doing these sessions obviously helps me remember to walk my own talk. And so I thought today we talk about resilience. I think part of it for me is I'm an introvert and the holidays can be tricky. There's some really wonderful the joyful stuff that obviously happens too in terms of getting together with people and wanting to spend time with them. And then I also notice that I'm just a little more thin-skinned, I think, than many other people when it comes to social occasions. So I need my rest time. And so the theme for today is resilience. And I thought we'd do a meditation to get clear about the mechanics of our mind as we go through stressful situations and notice some of the mechanisms at work. So first, a quick definition of resilience. And by the way, I'd like this image here. You looking. This is probably in the high country somewhere up in Yosemite. On a granite face. Here's this gnarled tree beaten by weather and snow, and yet there it is. It's incredibly resilient. It's looks like it's quite alive in an environment that should probably not really be able to support a tree like that. And so resilience, I'll define it as the ability to adapt and recover in the face of adversity, threats, or stress. And there are three elements that I want to focus on today. The first one is bounce. So when something stressful happens to us, when something doesn't go in the way that we want, in my case, when I start feeling that contraction and that short fusedness, one of the questions I pose to myself is, how quickly can I bounce back from this situation, rather than staying in that sort of down place for longer than I want. So it's this ability to quickly return back to a baseline equilibrium after something's happened that has knocked us off kilter. The second part of this is grit. So you look at this guy's hands, right? He's not getting paper cuts anytime soon. Whereas, my office hands here, I might poke myself with a staple. So, that's the image that I have of grit. And another way of saying this is just being a little more thick-skinned or cultivating some calluses and some thick-skinnedness. So the ability to maintain a sense of composure and perspective while going through a challenging experience. Can we consciously tell ourselves what it would look like to have a little more grit in this situation? And then the third part is what I would call the reframe. So as we talked about yesterday, our attention creates our reality, and there are all kinds of events that will constantly are vying for our attention, and a lot of it's very automatic. Right? So we have these narratives or these stories or these beliefs about how the world works and about other people. And we're very quick to just attach to those and not question them. So the reframe is the ability to change the way we perceive an experience, to change the story, or at least to open up to the possibility that maybe there's another explanation for why this happened or what is happening, rather than just, running down the well-worn path. So let's do the following. Let's drop into a meditation here, and just to prep you, start thinking about a situation. Could be recent, could be something that's going on for you right now, but something where you feel yourself a little rattled. It feels so. Don't pick the most intense thing in your life, but something that has some charge to it, where you feel like, gosh, it would be nice to have a little more resilience in this situation. So go ahead and close your eyes. And as we always do in these sessions, let's start by grounding into the body, remembering that our head is attached to a body. And the more attuned we can stay to the body, the more information we have about how things are going for us. So maybe bring your attention to your hands. Noticing temperature, sensation in your hands. Many of us hold a lot of stress in our hands, hence the term white knuckling it. See if you can just very deliberately and intentionally relax your hands. And then moving your attention to the shoulders. As soon as I thought of shoulders, I immediately sat a little more upright, just noticing any tension that you're holding in your shoulders, your posture. And again, see if you can bring some deliberate intentionality to trying to relax the shoulders, softening, and also noticing breath coming and going, starting at our nostrils, our nasal cavity, on the throat, into the lungs and the belly. Just becoming aware of the sensation of the body breathing. And now bringing to mind this either a memory or the situation that you're dealing with right now that is feeling you a little unnerved, maybe irritated, maybe downright angry, maybe sad, confused, overwhelmed, maybe all of the above. And just feel into that experience. Notice its impact on the body. Notice its impact on the mind, what we would call our explanatory style. Noticing what are the beliefs or the stories that the mind is attaching to about this situation. And seeing yourself in that situation, ask yourself the question, what would it take for me to have a little more bounce? What's weighing me down? What am I holding on to that I potentially could let go of? So I could bounce back up to equanimity and equilibrium. Just noticing there's no should in there. There's no directive as to what you should or shouldn't do. It's just posing the question. How can I find more bounce? And just notice what comes up. Maybe imagining yourself, if you were able to have more bounce, what would being back in equilibrium mean to you? What would that look like? And again, thinking about the situation, now asking yourself the question, what would it look like if I had a little more grit? My skin was a little thicker than it maybe has been or is in this situation. What would that look like? How might that protect me from the struggle that I'm having? again, there's no should in here. There's no directive of to be gritty or to do anything. It's just posing the question and using your imagination or creativity to imagine yourself having a little more grit, just exploring what that might look like or feel like. And then last but not least, let's explore reframe. So again, going back to this situation, asking yourself the question, are there other possible explanations or reasons this is happening other than the ones I've attached to? Maybe I don't understand why this other person is behaving the way they're behaving. Maybe there are other reasons for why people or life or circumstances are resulting in this situation. And again, just exploring with a creative, curious mind and maybe come up with a reframe or two about the situation. As we saw yesterday, the mind is very quick to jump to conclusions. And a lot of those stories are old narratives and old beliefs that we've attached to for years, sometimes decades. So this is simply posing the question, is there another possible explanation for why this is happening the way it is? Now, holding this situation in mind, zoom out a little bit and then imagine yourself, picture yourself getting a do-over in this situation with a little more bounce, a little more grit, and the ability to reframe your perspective on it. Just opening up to the possibility of experiencing those types of situations a little differently. Go ahead and take a deep breath in. Long, slow exhale through the mouth. Relaxing the shoulders, the hands, the belly, just letting it go. Then hold the out breath for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Another deep inhale. And an intentional letting go. The exhale. Relaxing, coming back to life right here, right now. And hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, open your eyes. Come on back to here and now. If you need to, sometimes it helps in these situations to kind of shake off that memory and just sort of reorient back to the present moment. Hope that was helpful and hope to see you again tomorrow. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.